In this video, I'm going to show you the 3 biggest mistakes that executive job seekers make when they're trying to find a new role. And why is this important? It's important because the average executive job search can take anywhere from 6 to 12 months. And that's 6 to 12 months to find one offer, to get one offer, which may not be any better than your current role. So this is super, super important to understand what is holding you back in the executive job search. My name is James Whittaker, and along with my team here at the Ambitious Exec, our mission is to help 100,000 unfulfilled and underpaid directors, VPs, and C-suite executives get hired into roles which give them the fulfillment, impact, and earning potential that they deserve. And that's why I want to share this incredibly important information with you today. So let's go and look at it right now. Now, these are in no particular order, right? But the first of the 3 biggest mistakes that executive job seekers make is relying on free passive job search activities, right? Or approaches. So what does that mean? Well, most executive job seekers that I work with and that I know are out there right now looking for new roles, they operate in this environment where they think, hey, all I need to do is fix up my resume and I'm going to get the results I want, right? And maybe I'm going to get in contact with a recruiter and I'm going to get the results I want. But there's a real problem with that approach, and this is what it is. The whole hiring industry, which is worth $200 billion across the US, $200 billion, right? The problem for you is that all of that $200 billion, the whole of this industry, is designed to help companies find new people to work at their companies, to find candidates. It is not in place to help you as the candidate find a job. Right? It's that mindset shift, that key little difference, which is absolutely massive. This $200 billion industry is designed for companies to hire people, not for people to get hired. So for when you're going and looking through these passive approaches, these free approaches, you just become the number on a screen, right? Let's analyze that in detail. Look at job boards, for example. On average, it takes 250 applications, right? These are studies that have shown this, to get hired into a role that you want to. So to get one offer, it takes 250 applications. You can see how it takes 6 months to a year to make that happen, right? So why is that the case? Well, it's the case because the job boards are set up to help companies. What happens? You've probably seen this yourself, but a company comes along, they post a job online, right? And then you see 200, 300, 400, 500, even 1,000 applicants for that role. Most of those applicants then get rejected by applicant tracking systems. Applicant tracking systems are set up to have rejection criteria, and get this, the only people that know what the rejection criteria is are the people that have set up the systems, right? So you can't get your resume optimized for applicant tracking systems, right, in fully, because nobody knows how they're set up, because it's only the person who set it up who knows, right? So most people, 90% of those candidates get rejected by the system, and a few of them pass through to a low-level recruiter whose job it is just to scroll through, maybe call you up and have one of those kind of annoying recruiter conversations where they ask you, so what's your salary requirements? Okay. How much experience have you have? Okay. All right, well, we'll be in touch, right? Absolutely no value at all, but it's just to get rid of more people from this pool, right? And then finally, it trickles down until it gets into the hands of somebody who can actually make a decision, a true decision maker. But the chances of you getting through those systems are very, very low, even if you have the perfect experience and the perfect resume, because you do not know what those parameters are set up to reject, how they're set up to reject you and how they might reject you. So that's the first problem, right? Now you might be thinking, okay, well, I kind of understood that about job boards. What about recruiters? Well, the thing with recruiters, it's exactly the same problem. They have a conflict of interest, which is their paycheck, all the money they earn, their commissions, come from the companies doing the hiring. They don't come from you. So what that means is a recruiter and their entire model is set up to earn more money, right? To help them earn money. Well, what does that mean? Well, it means that they're going to do everything they can to fill the positions that the companies need, right? It doesn't mean that they're going to help you find a job. They are not there. Recruiters are not there to help you find a job. The only time that a recruiter will ever help you is if they already have the perfect opportunity on their plate that 100% fits with your skills, your experience. You have flawless background in relation to that type of role, because that's what they're paid by companies to do, is deliver 3, 4, 5 candidates on a silver platter who are exactly aligned with the parameters that the company has set up for that hire. Means no career changes, right? No different things in your background. Not going to work. You're not going to get success with recruiters if you just do that. If you just focus on getting help from one recruiter, right? People talk about working with a recruiter. You can't work with a recruiter. Recruiters don't work for you. They work for the hiring companies. And so the problem is you're stuck in the same situation as with job boards, because the likelihood that a recruiter is going to have that position available for you at the same time as you are looking and contacting them is about the same as you getting hired into a role where there's 500 applicants on the job posting. That's the problem with this. The free, passive approach to job searching does not work if you want control and if you want success, if you want high levels of success and you want the success quickly. It just doesn't work, right? So that's the choice you have in front of you. Do I go with the free, passive approach, right? And I know that I'm not going to see those results because I'm a commodity. I'm a number on a screen, essentially. That's all I am. Or do I actually do something different and focus on getting the results I want? Now, if you're in that second bucket, which I hope you are, because that's how you're going to get the results you want in the job search, then this one thing that a lot of people do is they do this. They go out to their network or other people and they ask for opportunities. Now, what's wrong with asking for opportunities? You probably think, well, that's great. That's what everyone does. The problem with asking for opportunities is when you go out, imagine, okay, let's flip this around. Imagine you are out there right now and you're working in a high-powered role and someone comes to you and you don't know them, or maybe you met them like 3 years ago at a conference or something, right? They come to you and they say, hey, so this is my background and I'm looking for this thing. Please help me. Please help me. What are you going to do? Are you going to help them? No. Unless you have, again, like a recruiter, the exact right thing at that exact right time. How often does that happen? Not very often. So asking for opportunities from your network, you probably tried it, doesn't work. It does not work unless, again, you're in this very specific situation where that person has the exact role available for you at that exact time. Does that happen often? Not really. So asking for opportunities rarely ever works. Think about it from your perspective again, right? People don't just help you for the sake of it. How do you get past that? You need to be specific in terms of what you're asking. You need to build human connections to get someone to do something for you. I talk about this in some of our other videos where we talk about how do you actually get employee referrals. Employee referrals are one of the most important things to executive job seekers. The problem is they're quite hard to get unless you know exactly how to get them, right? So that's the second problem. Thinking, okay, well, I don't want to go through the free passive approach because I know that's not going to work. I don't want to go through this, and so what I want to do is go through my network, right? On the more active approach. Problem is, most people go about it the wrong way. That's one of the biggest challenges here. Now, there's another thing that I want to tell you about in relation to the passive approach and the active approach. When you're looking at the active approach, what does this allow you to do? It allows you to unlock the hidden job market, right? What's the hidden job market? You might have heard about this, but it's estimated that 80% of all roles that are out there are never advertised anywhere. I have a video on this. I have a couple of videos on this actually about the hidden job market, about what I call the executive hiring waterfall. Go out and check those out if you want to learn more about that. But what this says is that if you're going through the free or the passive approach, there's so much opportunity that you're not going to even see in the job market. There's 80% of the job market that you're never even going to get access to. You will get access to it, some of it, through asking for those opportunities, but you'll never see it because of how human nature works. Because when you just ask for opportunities out in the world, people are not going to do anything for you unless you do something for them first, unless you have that relationship, unless they know exactly what they should be looking for, right? That's the key. Now, the third thing is the third point of failure that we often see, or that we always see from people that come and work with us as clients, is leverage. Or actually, I'm going to change that to lack of leverage. Now, what's leverage? Well, remember back at the start of this video, I said the average amount of time it takes for an executive to get hired is or to get a job offer, not get hired, 6 to 12 months to get one offer, right? That's the kind of average time. Why is that a problem? Well, what it means is when you get that offer, you have this binary decision to make. The binary decision is this new role that I've got the offer for better than what I'm doing currently? It's quite hard to tell. It's quite hard to make that decision when you have just those two options on the table, right? You lack what's called optionality. You don't have good options, right? Or you don't have enough options, right? And there's as James Clear, the author of Atomic Habits, said, the more options you have, the more power you have. And that's what we want. That's what we do for our clients, is generate power, generate control in the executive job search. Right. So what do you do? How can you overcome this issue? Right? How do you gain that leverage? You do it by ensuring that you have multiple interviews and multiple offers at the same time. This is what we define as leverage, because then you can leverage those things against each other. Right? We found that the best way, and this is crazy, the best way to pass executive interviews, right, is not by being the best interviewee, although that obviously helps, and that's something we help our clients with, right? One of the easiest ways to pass an executive interview, all else being equal, is to utilize something called prospect theory. What prospect theory is the psychological principle that humans will do more to avoid losing out on something than they will to gain something. So, a key decision maker who's making a decision about whether to hire you will not want to lose out on you to a competitor if they think that you have, and they know that you have other offers and other interviews on the table. You see this all the time. You might have even experienced yourself. So having leverage, having multiple interviews and multiple offers, lets you do so many positive things. Not only does it allow you to implement prospect theory and use prospect theory to your advantage, it also increases your confidence, increases your feelings of worth and value in the marketplace, right? If I've got 4 offers on the table, I've got 4 interviews, 6 interviews, whatever it is coming up. Have you ever felt had that experience? And we've seen this with our clients. Oh yeah, I don't really. I'm going to go to this interview, but it's not really a job that I want that much. What happens? You get that job every single time because you don't care, because you have that confidence, you have that laid back attitude. I'm not. It's okay if I get it. That's great. That's fantastic. But if I don't, it doesn't really matter. What happens? You get that role every single time because you have that confidence. Right? That almost that devil may care attitude. That's what you get when you have leverage. And then with offers, even better, you have 4 different offers on the table. What can you do? Company A. Well, company B has offered me 300K. Company C has offered me 320K. You've only offered me 280. Right? I don't want money to be the big issue here, but I can't lose out on 40K a year not knowing anything else really about how this role is going to operate. Right? What happens? This is the easiest way to negotiate huge salary increases, because that company then comes back and says, okay, we'll offer you 330. You go back to the company that's offered you 320 and you say, well, this company's offered me 330 or 340. And they say, okay, 350. We see it every single day. That's why leverage is so important. That's why you have to reverse engineer your job search so that you obtain leverage throughout the whole thing. Because if you're not thinking about these things at the start, well, you're certainly not going to achieve them at the end. So this is why you have to understand how leverage works and the power of leverage. So 3 things that you need to focus on. And if you understand these 3 things, your job search is going to be so much better. Understand how the job market works, that the $200 billion job in, or the industry, the hiring industry, is not there to serve you, it's to serve hiring companies. Don't rely on the free passive approaches, because you're just going to be a number on a screen. It's going to take you 6 to 12 months or even longer to get one offer. Don't just ask your contacts for opportunities. It's a better approach than just applying on job boards and waiting around for a recruiter, but only just. What you need to do is you need to build relationships with people on a personal level and get them to understand why they should help you and what it is that you need help with, right? We do that with our clients all the time. And I said, I have other videos which showcase how to do that specifically. And then finally, make sure you have leverage. Make sure you have leverage in your job search. Do all of those 3 and you're going to have an amazing, amazing increase in success in the executive job search. Now, my team and I have developed a process called the reverse job search method, which does all of this and much, much more. Now, if you're interested in getting help accelerating your career as a director, VP, or C-suite executive, and you want help, and you want us to license and install our proprietary system inside your job search, there'll be a link below this video. You can click, you can watch a video which explains more about it, and you can download some details. So go ahead and do that, and I will show you exactly how we can implement and install each of these different elements for you to solve the challenges that I've spoken about in this video. So take care, and I hope you get a lot of success from this.